Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the week of September 26th. We're going to jump right in here, Capricorn, and we're actually going to do what I'm calling a 333 reading. I don't know. I thought I was being creative. Probably not, but we're just going to pull 3 rows here, and then we're going to clarify it with the tarot, and we're also going to clarify the reading with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. It's been fun, so definitely let me know what you think of this kind of reading. We're also going to pull 3 yes or no question cards at the end, so that's where we get the number 333 from. Maybe it's not 333. I don't know how many 3s are in this reading, but feel free to let me know down below if you feel the need to count, right? In your first row here, you have this fair woman card. It says dealings with relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. And you also have this jug card. It says lighthearted, carefree time. You had something else over here as well that I thought, for some reason I thought that heart card, which you have at the end, was very similar, but I don't know. So this could be just a good time with friends or people in your life. Again, in these readings, whenever I get these like fair woman cards or the man cards or whatever, I always say, it's a general reading, and I'm reading for like a bunch of you. So it could be any person, doesn't have to be a fair woman that you're dealing with in your life. And I just feel that you could be having a good time with friends. Again, makes perfect sense to me. That's a very heart-based week. You have the heart card at the end. All earth signs have been getting these like very deep heart cards because I feel like the universe is asking you to really pay attention to what your heart wants and move towards it. I talked about this in like the next 3-month readings and the mid-September readings that this heart stuff would probably be coming up quite a bit for you, and it is. So there you go. You have the Tower, the Star, and the King of Swords. I feel that you made a very quick decision here, Capricorn. Some of you could have cut a person out of your life, and I feel like this person thought they could have you forever, basically, and I just feel like you're not waiting anymore. It's kind of funny because just intuitively, I feel like you feel like it's a Tower moment, if you let a person go here, for example, Capricorn, but I also feel at the same time, you're like, no, I have to have a Tower moment here in this situation. For others, this could be a job, and I'm pretty sure this came up in your next 3-month readings as well, that I'm pretty sure the same thing, that you had the Tower, and I was like saying, it seems to me like you chose to have a Tower moment. The thing is, you have the Star next. In the major arcana, we go from the Tower to the Star. So, it kind of suggests that you're going through a very rapid healing from this Tower moment. It looks to me like if this is a person, they're trying to hold the Tower together. Look, this is like a person trying to hold the Tower back together. But I almost feel this person was just a lazy person if it was a person. And I'm pretty sure I said this to you in your next 3-month reading, that it looks to me like they were lazy. And it's like a day late and a dollar short. I feel like you're just like moving on. You're sick of it, is the feeling I get with that King of Swords. King of Swords, he can be very cold and detached, when he gets pushed to a certain point. I feel like someone pushed you to that point. And if it's not a person, I would say it's a job or just something that needs to change in your life, like maybe a business or a business idea or something that hasn't been working. I feel like you've been pushed here with this energy. The thing is that, again, that jug card says lighthearted, carefree time. I feel like you normally are lighthearted and carefree, and it's almost like you're returning to your actual lighthearted, carefree self here, Capricorn. I really like this, but, I really feel that you have become detached from a situation that you were very attached to. I almost feel like this is unraveling. You see these like lights here? It's almost as if something has unraveled in your life, but not in a bad way. It's like you let it happen. You wanted this to happen. You have the Star, again, coming up after the Tower. That's exactly what we want if we're going to get the Tower in a reading, right? Because it basically suggests that you're healing very quickly after a Tower moment. But again, I feel this is one that you probably caused in the first place, and not in a bad way. This is a good thing, I would say. This needed to happen. In every direction that we go in here, from the Tower, I'll just show you. It's like you're going in a better direction every single way. You're going to the King of Pentacles, more stability. 4 of Pentacles, we could look at that as more stability as well. So, this kind of strikes me as something that's very necessary. Next, you have this dog card. It says protection from a powerful friend. You also have this nest card. It says an emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. If you left a person, I feel this person couldn't provide that. So I feel like you're kind of gaining safety by moving away from this. There's definitely new love coming in for you very quickly as well. It could be a fire sign or just someone who's very passionate about you. I almost get a feeling of someone who can't keep their hands off you here, Capricorn, and vice versa as well. You can't keep your hands off them. So if you're looking for love, It probably isn't coming in this week, but I feel over the next few months there could be love coming in for you that's very stable and secure. I feel like you're protected from things as well at this time. Like if you're worried about certain things like, security, financial security, I'm just getting protection vibes here in general. You have the Seven of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the King of Wands. It's kind of funny because, again, if you walked away from a person, I feel like you had your suspicions with this Seven of Swords. I feel like you had some, maybe they weren't like a liar, cheater, stealer, but I feel like you had just something wasn't right. I have that feeling, where it just feels like something isn't right. That's like the best way I could put it for you here, Capricorn. I feel like you had some intuitions, right? You know what's super interesting as well is that there's a nest right here, and you have that nest card, and they look almost identical. Like, look at, you have these eggs here look very similar to the eggs on this card, like right here and up in this nest here. So I kind of feel like maybe the powerful friend that protected you or has protected you and created this tower moment, which could be you, might be the universe. The universe might have stepped in here and kind of made you realize that things aren't, things weren't right in a situation. I feel like this person, of course, is now thinking of you, of course, now that you walked away. But I feel like you always had that feeling. I always tell people as well, in relationships especially, it's like if you have an intuition, you always used to ask me, like when I would do live readings and stuff, they'd be like, is so-and-so cheating on me? I'm like, why do you feel that way? In the first place, you don't need me. You don't need a tarot reader to confirm this for you. It's like if your intuition is telling you something, there's probably a good reason for it. They're probably doing something, even if they're not cheating, right? Even if someone isn't necessarily cheating on you, if you have that feeling, that's like your intuition telling you, hey, something isn't right here. Something is off. So whether they're cheating or not doesn't matter. There's something going on, right? Because your intuition is telling you that something isn't right. And I kind of feel like if you were dealing with a person here, that you were always feeling something. Maybe they weren't paying attention to you. Maybe they were telling you that they were working at night, but really they were just ignoring you, right? And, maybe they're just that type of person. Maybe they just need a lot of alone time, but they could have been honest, right? They could have spoken up. They could have said whatever they were feeling. You have this Four of Cups. I feel like you've been thinking about this. I mean, I do feel there are some, I feel like you expected this to go a different way, but I also feel you're kind of realizing that it can't, so you're just ready to move on. You have the King of Wands as well. I feel like this is something new that's coming in for you. I also feel like you're kind of stepping in your true power here, especially with this card, the Star, which you had. I kind of feel that these two are connected in your reading. I feel what you are realizing about yourself is that you are very unique. I feel like you bring certain things to the table that maybe, sorry, didn't want to do that. I feel like you bring things to the table that maybe other people don't. And so I feel like you're like, I'm not going to just give myself to anyone now. And, I feel like you're kind of standing up for your, I almost just said morals. It could be your morals, but I feel like your true worth, your true value. And that's what you're willing to accept now in relationships. Same thing with work and business as well. I kind of get this feeling with the King of Wands of really saying, no, I'm not going to settle for what I've been getting. I need to break through these. I really see you kind of like breaking through certain like plateaus in business. If you have a business or a career, like maybe there are certain numbers that you have to hit. And I feel like you're saying, I always stop at, this number, I'm going to break through it. So I really get that energy. Love it. Next, you have this heart card. It says love, deep affection, and caring. I feel like that's what your soul is craving. I don't necessarily feel that this reading is saying that love is coming in yet. I feel like it's something that's developing. You have this pin card as well. It says new job or career. Again, if you're not, some of you could be creating a tower in your job or career or business because you're not living your true, authentic self, whatever that means for you. It kind of reminds me of a story. I remember years ago I was watching a video with Gary Vee, and he was talking about how he was driving home one day and he realized that he was only like 90% happy doing what he was doing. I can't remember the story exactly, but he was like only 90% happy, and he said, no, I want to be 100% happy. And then he went and did what he did. So it's like one of those things, whether you love him or hate him, Gary Vee, I think it's a good story because it basically says, like, are you 100% happy doing what you're doing, or is there something that your heart belongs to? Is there something better that you feel could make you more happy? I don't think we're ever truly 100% happy, and I don't think we should either. To me, happiness is a state to be achieved. It's something that we have to work towards, right? But if you're working on something that makes you 91% happy and you feel like it could make you 100% happy, even if it doesn't, at least you're working on something that could be making you more happy. So I kind of feel that some of you could be making that change here. You have the Four of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. Normally, I do not like the Four of Pentacles. However, I feel really good about the Four of Pentacles for you, Capricorn. I kind of feel it's talking about pillars, actually. I feel there's almost like four pillars in... I kind of see you kind of standing on these four pillars. I don't know. I don't know how that would work unless you have four legs. But the point is that I feel very stable. I feel like you're creating stability with this card. And I almost feel that you are, kind of very focused on your financial stability as well. You have the Ace of Swords. This is a victory. For some of you, I feel like you want the truth out of a situation, especially if this is talking about a person that you walked away from. I feel like you already know the truth. I don't necessarily think the truth is coming in. I feel like you already know the truth. So the universe is like, okay, move on. Because you already know, you've already had these, sorry, I'm just throwing cards all over the place as usual. But I feel like you've already had the suspicions. I feel like you've already had the thoughts and, all that other stuff. And it's like, you're right. I feel like this is just confirmation. You have the King of Pentacles, again, more financial stability. So I do feel there's like a lot of financial stability and success coming in for you with the King of Pentacles. So love to see that. A lot of kings showing up here. Well, two so far, or three, I should say. So definitely like this bossing up energy here, Capricorn. But we're going to clarify through now and with the tarot. This is the first clarification with the Tower. You have the Sun. Literally saying this was a good idea. So you creating the Tower moment was a good thing. You have the Sun and the Star. I love the Sun and the Star, especially if they're like on top of each other or next to each other in a reading. They happen to be, the Sun is below. The Star is below the Sun, basically on top of each other. So, to me, it represents fame and fortune. Doesn't mean you're going to become famous. But what it does mean is if you're trying to stand out in some way, get a new job, start a new career, find new love, it's amazing for standing out. You're going to have to go put yourself out there. As I always say, not going to happen in the comfort of your own home. You're going to have to go out in public, leave your house, go somewhere, right? Do things, right? Get some hobbies. And if you do those things, then you'll have this success. If you don't, obviously nothing is going to change. With the Star, you have the Ten of Swords. Again, like I said, healing. The funny thing is, on the Ten of Swords, the Sun is normally coming up in the back of the Ten of Swords. He's also making a symbol right here that represents a blessing. So I feel like this has been a long time coming. Like this ending that you have created has been something, maybe it already has ended and then it started back up again and now you're ending it again. So whatever this ending is, I feel it, like I kind of get that feeling of something being a long time coming, something that's needed to happen. And I feel like you're finally going to be getting some blessings because of this ending. There's definitely a lot of hope and faith here. With the King of Swords, you have the Queen of Pentacles. You have the Queen and King of Pentacles in your reading. So divine counterparts, definitely could be a very stable relationship coming in the future. This is your card, Capricorn. You show up right here. So I feel there's like a major focus on your finances. Some of you could be just taking a step back from relationships in general and focusing on your finances or your income. And I feel like it will be growing, of course, based off this reading. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Four of Swords. Yeah, take some time to heal from this situation. Another card of blessings. There's a person right here blessing another person in that window. And so I feel there are just blessings coming in for you, probably as kind of like karma or payback for what you've been through. And I mean that in a good way, not in a bad way. With the Four of Cups, you have the Hermit. You've learned a lot over the past few years, I feel. The Hermit is a card of wisdom and knowledge. And again, I feel like being in whatever the situation is, whether it's a relationship or something else, doesn't matter. I feel like staying in that would be selling yourself short. It's like he is worth a lot. So staying in a relationship, a business, or a job where you're not fulfilling yourself or getting the energy you deserve is kind of selling yourself short. So I feel like you're finally maybe moving on to something where you're getting your worth or your true value, whatever you want to call it. With the King of Wands, you have the World and ending. Definitely moving on to a new beginning. I feel like the world is your oyster here, Capricorn, is what I feel like saying. I feel like you could be stepping into situations now where, kind of like, I don't even think the sky's the limit. I feel like there are no limits. It's almost like limitless type of energy here. Obviously, as I always like to remind people, it's like, yeah, energy could be limitless, but again, if you don't do anything, then nothing is going to happen. Tarot isn't magic. I always like to remind people, because I always get comments from people that are like, you said this was going to happen, nothing happened. I'm like, yeah, what did you do? And they say like nothing. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. If you do nothing, you get nothing. So just because you have limitless energy doesn't mean you're going to actually do something with it. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, change in direction. I feel like you've built things up in your life to a certain point. Like I said, I get this energy of breakthrough energy, but it's not like breakthrough like, oh, you're having a breakthrough, although, that could be part of it. I feel like it's more breakthrough energy in the sense that you're trying to break through certain barriers. You're trying to break through certain restrictions. The funny thing is, I think like once you do one, then you're like, well, what else can I do, right? It's almost as if, having small breakthroughs of barriers is going to motivate you to try more things. It's kind of like sometimes we have a small win. We're like, I want more wins. So then we create more wins in our life. And I really see you doing that here. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you're slowly but surely taking the steps to move forward. I always say Six of Pentacles is my card of planting seeds. And you have the Seven of Pentacles, which is like the seeds growing, right? But I feel like you're just exploring, trying new things, seeing what else is out there in the world for you, Capricorn. So you could be, I would be open to that. It's funny because we haven't even gotten to this deck yet, but the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. But pretty much every reading this week has had a major focus on exploring, trying new things, having new experiences. And I feel like that would be good for you. They say variety is a spice of life. So, you have that world card. I would be just, trying anything. Could be trying a new restaurant. Could be going to a different store. Could be anything. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Two of Wands. You are ready for something new. Every single card you have, like he's standing at the top of a castle and he's got the whole world in his hands. Something behind him is complete right here. This wand stands on itself, on its own. And he's got the whole world in his hands over here. It's like he's ready to get out into the world. So I feel that energy for you, Capricorn, where it's like you are ready for some new experiences, especially if you've had allowed a tower moment to happen. I kind of feel like it's different for some of you. Some of you have allowed the tower moment. Others of you, I feel like, have said, I'm cutting this person's head off. I'm getting out of this situation with that King of Swords. That King of Swords, like I said, I get a very cold energy. I actually feel if this is a person, that someone could be very surprised. Like, I feel like they never thought you would be cold to them. But, I don't think, maybe they don't understand Capricorn energy, right? Is what I would say. But let's go. Let's see. We're going to clarify now with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. With the Tower and the Sun, you have this drama card. I feel like this person could have caused too much drama. They might not even have been dramatic, but maybe they just constantly had problems or issues. And that could be why you created this Tower moment and are separating away. I feel like, but again, look at this knot right here. I think they call that a Gorgonian knot or something like that. Or something, I don't know. Someone will know what I'm talking about. But, I feel this person it was just like constantly looping around. If this was a person, I feel like that's what's been brought to light with the Sun, and that's why it had to end. It's like you didn't want it to end, but at the same time, it's like you can't force another person or a business or something to provide for you. So I feel like you said, okay, bye, I'm done. It's like I have very matter of fact energy here. It's almost like a wall has been created, but in a good way for you, because I feel like it's protecting you. With the Star and the Ten of Swords, you have the Defense card. See, I feel if someone's trying to come in, that you will be very defensive. I don't think you will allow this person back into your life if it's a person, plain and simple. Other than that, I feel like you are protecting your ideas with this Defense card. I feel that you could have some very good ideas. Like, look, there's like this coin right here. And so I feel that there could be some very fertile ideas in your head with that Ten of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. And I feel you're saying to yourself, I'm going to protect these ideas. I'm also I would protect them from a Taurus. Very specifically. If you have a Taurus in your life, could be like your mother, your father, a person in your life. I don't think they're a bad person. I just think that they're maybe too practical right now. Maybe you have an idea for a business that's kind of like, in outer space. And if you have a Taurus that's super grounded, in the real world, they might just not see your idea. And so if you tell them, just be careful of your ideas. And everybody's had a message like that. So there you go. With the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Secrets card. I would keep it a secret. I feel that you are keeping things secret. I get a lot of stuff for you on this card. I feel like you should keep your secrets secret, your ideas, your plans, your goals for your life. It doesn't mean you're not going to share them in the future. I just feel like you need to protect them from haters so that you don't kind of get into a weird funk because, someone says it's a bad idea. The other thing is, I think you knew if you had a tower moment with a person that this person had secrets. And I feel like that's what you're walking away from here. I feel like you could be walking away from a person who had secrets and you're just saying, no, I'm not going to deal with this any longer. Plain and simple. You have this domination card popping out here. I do get like a weird thing. Again, if you were dealing with a person, I feel that maybe they were just trying to control the situation and they just couldn't let it happen, That's what I get here. With the Seven of Swords and the Four of Swords, you have this Rebellion card. Kind of interesting. Almost everyone has had this card. Or there's a Rebel card in this deck. There's another card as well that I can't remember the name of. But they all kind of represent the same thing. They're all Aquarius energy as well. So I kind of feel that for some of you, you're just kind of going your own way, which seems to be a major focus right now, where you could be kind of coming up with some original ideas. And I would be embracing those original ideas for sure. With the Four of Cups and the Hermit, you have this Convention card. Convention is a way things have always been done. And this is why a person had to come to an end, I bet. If I was a betting man, Capricorn, and I'm not, I don't gamble, right? But what I would say is if I was a betting man, I'd bet that you let go of a person because it was just like the same old story over and over and over again. I just feel like you see it the same. This person could have had children as well involved in the situation I'm getting intuitively here. But I feel like you're like, no, boring. Time to move on. With the King of Wands in the World, you have this inspiration card. I say this all the time. Follow your inspirations. King of Wands follows his inspirations, which this is clarifying that card. He feels inspired to do something, so he does it. And it's just that simple. He doesn't really care what anyone thinks. He doesn't care what his mom says or if he has a grounded Taurus in his life. He respects people's opinions, but he also kind of marches to the beat of his own drummer, right? And I kind of feel that for you here where, being a little bit more innovative at this time, following your inspirations, what your heart is telling you to do, clearly is going to lead to success. With the Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, you have this generosity card here. I do feel like there are people who want to be very generous to you, just in general. I feel like you're feeling more generous, they're feeling more generous, everybody's more generous, and this is just creating a positive feedback loop in your life. So anything you do to be more generous to people, I feel would be good, but also I feel like just going to come back to you. Looks pretty good. With the Ace of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, you have this Resistance card. What do you know? Taurus, right? Taurus with the bull right there. So I would be careful of Taurus energy in your life for whatever reason. This is Mercury in Taurus. Funny enough, Mercury would be communication. Again, I'm not saying you're cutting someone out of your life. I mean, it could be like your mother, could be a Taurus, for example, and maybe she's perfectly fine, but also maybe just a little bit too grounded. So I'm not saying you have to cut this person out or do anything crazy. I would just be careful of telling them your ideas. I feel like you can still talk to them, be great friends with them, all that other stuff, of course, but I would be careful here. I also get this energy of feeling like I'm not in the right location or something. I'm not sure what those words that are popping into my head are. It's like stranger in a strange land, which I think is a book, by the way, but it's almost like I feel like I'm out of place. I feel like I'm like an alien, right? I feel like I've come to Earth and I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Some of you could be feeling that feeling, maybe you feel like you aren't where you belong or something. I kind of get this feeling that maybe this year, coming 2024, you might have a lot of opportunities to explore. This could be literally, but it could also be more figuratively as well. It's maybe you're thinking about moving to Mexico, right? Maybe all of a sudden there's a bunch of stuff on TV about Mexico. I feel like that's a clue for you, Capricorn. Maybe you should look into it, right? And if there's a bunch of stuff that you're watching about it, it's taking the information. I kind of feel, for some reason, I feel like location. It doesn't necessarily have to be where you live. It could be your job, and maybe you're thinking about leaving. Maybe you get a bunch of information where it's taking you kind of on this mental journey. I would pay attention to that. I don't know. It's popping into my head. With the King of Pentacles and the Two of Wands, you have this Birth card, rebirth. I feel like you are being reborn here with this energy. So, there you go. I also do feel that this could be new love coming in for you here. Definitely something much more stable, much more secure is what I would say. I feel like this person, very dreamy though, very dreamy vibes. Could be a water sign coming in for you. Could also be an earth sign, fellow earth sign. But I feel like there's the birth of something new. I mean, this is literally coming up with that pin card, which says new job or career. So pretty crazy reading, Capricorn. They've all been pretty nuts, but we're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards now. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3 right here. 1, 2, 3. Feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think of your questions. For question number 1, I would say yes, stick to the plan is what I feel like saying here. For question number 2, I would say yes, definitely a victory, Chariot, so some sort of win coming in for you. For question number 3, I would say yes, you have the 6 of Cups, 3 yeses. So this looks good. Love it. Thank you for being here, Capricorn. Don't go back. Don't go backwards. Definitely popped into my head at the end there. Again, if you're thinking about going back to this person, no, is what I'd say if this is a person. For some of you, it's not a person, obviously. It's just a round situation that you had to leave. But this looks amazing. So you're on to much bigger and better things, I promise. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.